Hello, folks. I don't even know if anybody's going to jump in and watch. Nothing's really going to be overly exciting tonight. I'm just doing some listing and listing a little bit different than most of y'all do, probably eBay, Etsy, and so on. I'm actually working on our next auction catalog. We run auctions weekly, as many of you know. The lighting's going to be terrible. That's just because that's the way it is. I could turn off the light, but then it makes it even worse. But basically, it's real similar to listing on any of the other platforms, except it's our platform itself. It's actually it's not my platform. We use HiBid, which is a nationwide platform for creating, for doing auctions. Whether you're doing live auctions or online auctions like we do. I think I'm going to be able to watch the chat over there. I do see it going. So we'll see. Just came back. You'll see me coming in and out. Let me go to the right browser. You'll see me coming in and out as I take stuff from here where I'm listing. I'll try to adjust down to where maybe you can see what's going on. Right now, I just finished a listing for a Manhattan ribbed glass dish. If you guys don't do much glass, there's actually some money in it. Over the last several weeks, I actually did some hen on nest, and this particular piece, it's a large round platter. It's ribbed. This is called the Manhattan horizontal ribbed design. It's smooth on top with a ruffled or ribbed on the bottom. This dish here, and probably if you look at eBay comps, it's Anchor Hocking. The platter itself probably runs about $35 if you're going to replace. I think you might be able to get it for down closer to around 20-25 if you're lucky. But I also have these. It's a pink. I don't know if you'll really be able to capture that. Again, I know my lighting is terrible. I don't know if there's anything I can do with that. Maybe if I watch yeah, it's just my lighting. Terrible lighting in here. But these are pink insert trays. I've got actually, they go inside of the dish. They fit in there nicely. It's again, it's a Manhattan print or Manhattan design. And the person I actually got this from actually had little notes: depression, Manhattan pattern, or horizontal ribbed, Anchor Hocking 1938. And she put little notes of what she believed what it was. So just to kind of give you an idea how it photographed. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, it's going to be tough with the really crappy lighting in here. So this one I had already created earlier. I'm just going to go put it out on the shelf. I actually have a card out there. I'm not actually doing on this shelf. Basically, what we do is we have consigners bring in their consignments. This particular consignor does really well with me. They write out an entire list on print. That way I can kind of keep track and keep track of what I do and make sure I capture everything. Next thing that they brought in was this Jan Van Hastering 1500 piece puzzle. This is sealed in package. And I'm going to raise my light. It's probably going to play real havoc on the screen. Let me see if I can keep it turned somewhat away. I just want to get just enough light. My phone actually, what I found out is my phone actually does pretty well adjusting for light. So I'm going to go to the next. Do you guys do puzzles often? If you do, let me know in the chat. And basically, it's almost as simple as doing an eBay listing. just a little bit different fields that I have to populate. And we actually do give it a sale order, which put we created our own little categories or numbers that represent different categories. I think I'll put, it's not really a toy, but I think that's what I'm going to put it under anyway. And any other puzzles I might get, I'll do the same. Basically, we're just putting a simple, searchable description, or well, it's a lead. So it's basically the lead, your title, 1500 piece puzzle. I haven't been able to jump on and do a lot of videos lately. Been super busy trying to manage this and trying to take it on full time. And down the description, I'm going to put Jan Van Hasteren. There's a lot of good things that pass through the auction. A lot of things go really cheap. Based, when you look at comps and you see how much this stuff is selling for, you'd be surprised at some of the value people are getting at auction. I do recommend, if you're not sourcing at auctions, log into the HiBid portal. It's hibid.com. We do ship daily. I'm working on, or weekly, I'm working on trying to improve my shipping times. They are sometimes not the greatest, but I'm trying to balance out everything. When I think I've talked about this before, but it is Neighbor Hours. De Buren, I can't even, that's French. Anyway, I'm just going to snap the photo. And similarly, I like to, make sure I get some decent photos in. I wish I could show without the terrible lighting in here. The quality of the photos are pretty decent, I would say, but they're not. We try to make them as good, as clear, and to point out any flaws in any of the items, just like I would an eBay listing. Even though we do have hours for folks to preview in store, we understand that there's not always a chance for folks to get in to take a look at things. Still sealed in original packaging. I don't know if this has the year it was done or not. And I think I'm going to add in the finished size, 90 by 60 centimeters. Very interesting. Everything is written what appears to be French. Maybe I'm wrong. Nate, yeah, it looks like French. Let's just say, what is that? What did I say that was? 90 by 60 centimeters. I am not going to convert that over to inches. I'll let them do a little bit of the math themselves. Complete. When complete, just in case there's any confusion. It is fairly warm here in Idaho. I know some of you folks that live in hotter places don't want to hear me complain about it, but I have not turned on the air conditioner yet, believe it or not. On each of our items, we do put these little stickers on it, and it's basically our catalog number, catalog ID, and each auction we started a new set of numbers to kind of differentiate. We put a number and a letter. The number represents the auction that it listed originally on, and the number is the item number in that auction. So let's see. I'm gonna mark that out. Let's see what else we have that's cool in here. 1,500 piece jigsaw. Mark it off so I know I've done it. Um, it's a box. Oh, it's an old pencil box. This box belongs to. It is not filled out. Let's see what's in it. It is a box. Let's see what they wrote as a description of it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got lots of what appear to be, um, the video quality is terrible on this. If you guys are seeing it the same, it's a box full of old um, cut out comics. And it's very interesting. Bumper Snickers, generic motors, airbag demonstration day. What in the Sam Hill did you put in the airbags? Don't look now, but your wife just came in with another man. Oh, they're wrestling. That's funny. He was trying to pull a fast one on. Um, the guy's holding 2 coins in his hand. I don't know if you can see that, but John, he only swallowed a dime. Anyway, that is going to be a. Let's see what they put down here. Um, School pencil box full of old comics cut from magazines and newspapers. So, what would I think that would go under our vintage? I know vintage covers such a wide category. We use our own discretion as to what we put in our vintage sort order, which is it kind of leads our auction. We pretty much go coins, and then if we have anything spectacular, we'll put it up above coins. Then goes coins, and then vintage, and then we do vintage antique glass. Vintage antiques go together. Oh, and then art glass, and no vintage glass coins. That's funny. We moved our coins up toward the front. Then we do furniture. We don't do a ton of furniture, except the last couple of weeks we've had a lot. We have limited space in here, so it can be challenging balancing space between different auctions. Anytime during any given time, we could have 3 weeks or inventory from 3 different auctions going at the same time, whether it be things people are waiting to pick up, things that are on the current auction, and then getting ready for the next. Right now, I have roughly 200. No, I'm way out from there. I'm only at 121 for the week. I'm about 20 listings gone, or listings a day, or off for the week. So I'm trying to play catch up this week. So we're going to just type in the description. I wish I knew how to do the Hangouts with other people so they could jump on and chat with me. It's kind of hard to sit here and just talk just while I'm sitting here working. I know it's probably not overly exciting. I will let you know. You'll see it is kind of a mess in here. Back there is stuff that I have listed on eBay. I've got some G-scale trains back there, water pick, decanter, a couple old whiskey bottles. I got it early. I think it's pre-prohibition metal tin back there. I've got that on eBay. I think I've got it. I started at auction at $100. I don't think I'm far off on it. It's just making sure that the buyers are aware of it when they just make sure it gets out there. Old comic cutouts. Doesn't really have years. I'll just add in there lots of comics cut out from magazines and newspapers. I'm just gonna fan them out a little bit. Snap, save, snapshot. Move my stuff. Right now I'm moving off of a black background. I use white primarily, but it doesn't mean at occasion, especially when I'm doing glass, I use a dark. I've got blue over there. I have gray back behind me. The gray I think is just a little bit too dull and drab. I think it's too dark personally. But hey, thanks for coming and checking it out. I'm not sure who's in. I don't know if I'm not seeing chat. I know I'm probably not going to have very many people jump in. This isn't an overly exciting process. So the next lot is done. An old, I don't think it's that old pencil box with hundreds, I would say, comic cutouts from magazines and newspapers. And let's see, what number did I put that under? Hello. No. I've drank a green monster, but those are the typically ones I'd buy at the store for myself. Let me look if they're here. Okay. You might check in the garage. Okay. I'm live. Not a problem. Kat says hi. Hey, Bum Crack. How you doing? Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye. That was my wife wondering if we found the green monsters. Well, BCP, it's going to be a quiet night. I'm just sitting here working. I don't know if how much you're aware of what I do now. I do some eBay. I have limited stuff back here on the shelves, and the screen is just terrible. Most of it's because of lighting, I believe. I should have probably checked it out and tried to figure that out earlier. But we're building our auction catalog. We run about 350 is what our target is each week of 350 items or lots on each week. We start our auctions Friday night and run them till Wednesday. So we're right in the middle of an auction currently. People are out there bidding at their heart's content. And right now, I'm working on the next week's auction. You'll see me move in and out of frame as I go put these out on a cart, waiting to be put on shelves. I decided to take a break and get me water as well. Oh yeah, definitely a lot busier. I quit my full-time job back in on June 6th, and I've been spending a lot more time here. Putting out video content does take some time. And I'm still trying to balancing my workload out. So it has been challenging. I just looked at some of these. These Fire King. I'm gonna have to look and see what the names of these are. She probably does. She's real good at putting names on things. But anyway, yeah, it's been a chore, a challenge. When we first started, we were doing about 500. We're shooting for 450 to 500 items a week. I dropped that down to 350 when I started doing this full time. I still have to source, so I'm still hitting garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, auctions, and buying directly from folks. We have ads that we put out on different apps looking to buy items. So I buy things in bulk just to supplement our inventory. Because even though I do have quite a few consigners, I'm still consigning. The store is still putting up about half of our inventory. So you figure any given time, 150 to 200 items out there on the floor is stuff that I've acquired. So somebody has to put the stuff together. So there it is. 3 pieces of Fire King Gay-Fat 8x8 cake pan, 2.21 pint casserole dishes, one with lid. So For those of you who don't know, this Fire King pattern is called Gay Fad, and it is like a peach, or I don't know if it's a peach or a flower, but big, bold letters. I think this is a kind of a sought out pattern nowadays. There's some of this stuff that I would say anywhere. What I'm finding is 70s on up is hotter than old antique type things. I think there's been a falling away from antiques here in the States anyway. The younger generations don't find the appreciation, I don't think, in it. So when you are going out and sourcing glass, always run your hands around lightly. Make sure there's no chips or whatnot in the lids. That's going to definitely take down the value. And whether it's Pyrex, Fire King, look at the patterns. Make sure they're not overly marred. And you should do okay that way. If you're looking at milk glass, I'm not a big milk glass fan, but there's a thing what they call a ring of fire, and it's the way they glaze. It's almost like a double glaze on the milk glass, where you can almost see a colored edge around the glass. A lot of people, I think, steer away. I wouldn't say a lot, but a good amount of folks steer away from doing glass. I don't typically have that big of an issue. Just to kind of give you an idea, these I picked up fairly cheap. This is called a hen and nest, and he's coming. This particular one, it's got a ring right here on the back, and I think that's pretty indicative of Indiana glass here in the States. And they come in various glasses. They come in opalescence, which is kind of a when you think of carnival glass, that type of finish is called opalescence. Um, and this is the little standing rooster candy dish. This one is probably valued. You could probably get 30, anywhere 30 to 50, depending on what the current market is on those. I just sold a jadeite milk glass one just like that. That was jadeite's it's a green milk glass that Anchor Hawking put out, and it sold for I want to say around $50. And that is that plus shipping. I always charge shipping. So basically, the excitement this evening is me lotting things up, putting the sort order in, and getting this stuff out on the shelves. I am behind this week by about 20 listings, but our sort order basically we have different categories if you think of it that way. And what we've done is we've attached groupings of items a certain number, and that way if you have glass, all the glass falls in the catalog together. If you have sewing stuff, all the sewing stuff, books and media, toys, games, collectibles, and we break collectibles down just to try to keep things somewhat together in case you have buyers that are looking looking at a specific item and really don't care about looking at jewelry, for instance. Okay. Fire King, Gay Fad. Baking dishes. Let's just put bakeware. Casserole pans. What did she call them? Yeah, this is called bakeware. So it's similar to listing for eBay, except your market isn't as large. Um, if you're not familiar with glass, most of your things have numbers on them, and I always include that in listing. It's good to include in your eBay listings as well, whether it be Anchor Hawking, which makes Fire King, or is it Fire King makes Anchor Hawking? Um, or Pyrex, or whatever other thing you're listing. Corning or Corel, which is Corningware product. Corningware product is it's a little bit different. You want to look up find comps with the same pattern, and make sure you put those patterns in the listings as well. So we're gonna do 2 1-pint, one with lid. Also, if you look at, I got this big air bubble in my chest that's causing me pain. One with lid. I just found out last night that there's another. There's a Pyrex made in England. I can't remember the name. It had a different initial, almost like a JS, JAW, JW, J. I think it was JAW. And I just found that out yesterday because I was listing some of that. Found that interesting. Then one 8x8 cake pan. And this I'll take pictures of both. Went back too far. There we go. Camera does really well on the pictures. I will have to say that. I have to get my black light out of the frame and do my staging, whatever I think looks pretty. Now we're just going to stack those in carefully. Carefully, folks. I'll mark it off on the list. It's number 1122. Oh, there's Sam Dallas. I am live now. It's not going to be super exciting. Yeah, it's just me working. I figured instead of being here by myself, I would jump online and chat. Working through one of my consigners, huge lot. They brought in about 4 boxes today. I've been doing a lot of glassware locally, and that has driven me to learn more about glassware and actually selling some of it on eBay. There is money in glassware, and I would say the top glass that I have come across, it seems like uranium glass has picked up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that. It's not overly huge yet. But basically, let me see. I haven't tested this yet. It may not actually be. It might just be green glass. Is it? I'm going dark. I don't know if this is going to come through on the film on the camera, but it probably won't. Hello, it's dark, but yeah, it's not gonna. I don't think this is gonna work. But if you hold a black light up to uranium glass, because there is a small amount of uranium in the glass, it will actually glow. I could probably share a link, but let's see if I can find one here on my listing. I always take a picture with both, and bear with me as I go pull a link. I'll show you a link to depression / uranium glass. If it asks you to register, just hit no. This is actually a past auction I'm getting the link to. Let me go back to Well, actually, I think I have a lot in my current auction. Hopefully, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, that would be funny. I cannot see the. Okay. I found the link. Okay. Here is a link to our one that's in our current catalog. The actual second image will show you what it looks like under the black light. And like I said, you can bypass registration to look at the link. It should let you. But if you've never seen uranium glass under black light, they'll give you a good idea. I tried to capture the glow as much as possible. It is safe. It doesn't have enough uranium into it that it's harmful to you. It's pretty much trapped inside the glass, but it is enough still to make it glow under certain conditions. And they use a process. I think that is they put the uranium in there to affect the color of the glass to give it that green look. And it typically is. And I know my camera is terrible, but to give it this that green hue. I haven't tested all that yet to see if it's just green glass or if it's actually uranium or not. So now we've got no, what's this? She is so good because she gives me everything that I need to know. Except for these. Oh, maybe this is 8 small pottery dishes. I see 4 of them. I want to set these aside because they're I think those are the 8 small pottery dishes. We'll see how well these do. These aren't tied to a specific brand, but I mean, they do have oven served made in USA. These are unbranded. Um, this is Longaberger pottery, oven serve. So I'm just going to leave those 8 miscellaneous pottery dishes, various sizes. Very interesting. I don't know if I'd use that as a small flower pot. Maybe you could use it as a relish dish. Put your mayo, ketchup, chopped onions when you're having taco night. I don't know. But that's what she put it on her list, so that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm gonna put this one in kitchen. No, I'll put it in vintage glass. I have a terrible memory. I can look at something 3 seconds later and forget the number I was looking at. Or I can list 5 things in the same category, and so and totally forget when I go back to type it in. So yeah, the biggest difference between this and eBay is the fact that I'm trying to get. My goal is I just picked an estate collection, 80 pieces of Mount St. Helens ash in iridescent glass. Got them for 300. I'm going to make a ton on these. Yes, Mount St. Helens ash. You know, we just hit the anniversary this past month. Was it this past month? When was I want to say it was uh, mid June. I wasn't here when it went off. My wife was, and even this far, we're in North Idaho. Um, the streets were covered with inches of ash. It was the 30th anniversary. Um, let's see. I don't want to watch the video. I want to. May 18th. So it was April, May, June. So it was a month and a half ago. Man, it was time has been flying by. But it's it's funny you say that. I went to an estate, so my wife and I, and it's that look in the eye when you or the evil looks you get when you walk into a room. This particular was Christmas items. It was full of good quality Christmas items, and we're getting ready for Christmas auctions coming up. And you walk in the room, we're like, it was the last day of sale. There's tons of good quality Christmas stuff. It just wasn't moving, so we made an offer. While we're sitting there dickering back and forth, people are still looking at the items, and so we're looking to buy the whole garage full, the whole lot. So we finally come to a deal. And I knew there was one lady there that had already picked some items out and put in the tote. But there was someone else there that was looking, still in the middle of trying to make a decision on whether she's going to get these two LED Christmas trees. I mean, they're like in decorative pots. It wasn't your standard Christmas tree. There was some you could use year round, out on your patio or deck next to the hot tub, you know. Um, so when we made the deal, I went back into the room. I'm like, "Sorry, folks, all the Christmas items are sold. They have all been sold." And people just stare at you like, "Who the hell are you to come back and tell us everything's sold?" I'd made a deal, and I didn't want anybody picking through the rest. And we made out pretty good. Um, I gave 200 for all of it, and a Lane Bryant chest. I had him throw in the deal because I was really not wanting to go that high. And we loaded up my truck. I have a little Ford Ranger. I filled it up. I filled up my wife's Jeep Cherokee with the seats down, and then she had to come back and pull back more items. But man, people were giving me that evil eye. But we were just, when you're in the mood to buy, you got to just do it. Now the work comes afterwards. That when you're figuring out how much you're going to pay for something, when you go in there and do it, the work comes later, and that's kind of where you have to justify. People can say, "Well, I went in low with all this stuff, and I pretty much stole it." Well, I have to figure there's savings on both sides. The estate company or the owner of the estate, they have to figure out what to do with the stuff that doesn't sell. There's work involved, so my justification is I'm helping them out. And maybe that's a wrong choice of words, but it was stuff that they didn't have to haul away. They didn't have to figure out what to do with. And on the same end, I can't pay, premium pricing on items when I'm buying bulk like that because I have to figure out the time and effort involved on my side as well. Fontaine and Linux made me a ton of money last year. You know, I don't. I even did okay on even cheaper stuff. I mean, I did like Dickens Village pieces that weren't like Department 56 or Linux. Although I have picked up a lot of Linux, um, and unfortunately, I got a lot of Avon too. I don't know how that's going to do, but and all of it's marked from going back 20, 30 years, still in the package. But I was selling, and granted, I was low. I mean, I was selling these Dickens pieces, 9.99 plus shipping, because I knew shipping was going to be horrendous with the weight and size of some of those Village pieces. But so I'd set them down to 9.99, and I sold a ton of them during Christmas. I almost got rid of my entire inventory. I bought about 200 pieces a year ago, spring, from an estate sale, and sat on them. And I'm not getting any work done. I eat small pottery dishes. But yeah, now's the time to buy Christmas. But now I have to figure out where I'm going to store it. Hey, what's up, John? How you doing? You open the store yet? I've been watching your videos. I'm like, open the doors already. I would figure out if I knew how to do a live hangout, I would do it. I would even jump off my channel and sit here and work. I'm sure there's other people more exciting to watch than me sitting here do listings for auction catalog. You just need to do it. Just do it. 8 small. We're gonna put small because they are pretty small pottery dishes. And I'm not going to go overly into detail on these. I'm just going to put there's 3 unbranded. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3. I think 4. 4 genuine oven serve. I need to get me a webcam. You think I'd have one sitting around here somewhere? I run a freaking auction house with tons of inventory. 4 oven serve. They're cute little dishes. Oven serve. I have to tell you, if nothing else, check out our catalog for all the poor voice to text errors that we have. It gets pretty bad. So I mean, funny as well. Okay, Longaberger pottery. 1. Let's see if voice to text recognizes this. Longaberger pottery. It said long a burger pottery. That is not at all what I said. Make sure I spell it right. I know people are, especially every once in a while, the word sex comes into the instead of six. So every time I say 6, I have to double check and make sure I didn't put anything inappropriate in the listing. Longa. That sounds like a familiar name. Burger. And 3 unmarked. 3 unmarked. So nothing overly spectacular here. Let's see, we're gonna hit that save button and then we're gonna step back and take a snapshot. We really try to do quality listings. I try to do the best I can. Shipping has changed since they did all the rate changes. Um, so I, it's just been tough. I'm trying to figure out my whole shipping thing, which is a challenge. Um, if I have anything that gives me a poor reputation, it is my shipping. And no, I did not just pick my nose. I had a scratch underneath my eyeglasses. Okay. Longa Burger. And it spelled it like that, Long space A space Burger. And it's supposed to be Longaberger, Longaberger. But my phone makes terrible, terrible mistakes. As a young guy, I wanted to open an antique store. I'm living my dream vicariously through your vids, man. Keep them coming. I tell you what, John, are there any surprises along the way that you are finally that you're coming across? Any what's the biggest surprises you've experienced since starting this journey of doing your business? Oh, you know what I should do? I should put a business card right in the middle, and we're going to do a perspective photo. Um, this is about the time of night that get my paper out of the way. No matter how many descriptions, how many measurements. Um, oh, okay. I couldn't remember if he had done one before in the past. I think my biggest surprise doing this business is, first of all, sourcing for the auction is a ton different from sourcing eBay. Um, I think what has to do is when you narrow down your market, you can't have, I hope it sells, stuff that sits around for for uh, months, even a year. Things have to go in this business. You want things to be gone in a week. We do, if an item doesn't sell the first week, we do hold on to it and sell it, not the following auction, but the one after. So it doesn't look like we list the same things week over week. But so, when I'm buying, I'm looking at things. What are the people in this immediate area are looking for? Where when you're doing for eBay, you're mainly looking at comps. You do try to figure out sell through, but I never was good at figuring out that formula. Um, so I sat on things for months, and it's auctions. When you're selling at auction, you worry less about the what you're going to get out of it, and hope that it goes higher than your expectations. Um, but it's really about the quick turnaround. So these are all going together. Stack them, stack them, stack 'em. Oh, and you have to be really careful with other people's stuff. That's important as well. I'll do it times two because there's two stacks here. 1, 1, 2, 3, Z times 2. The other thing is I love to talk to people. I worked from home when I worked in the corporate world for so long. When I actually get out and meet people and talk to them, um, it I find I like to talk a lot more than I like to work. Going back over to the cart. I really need to do a dimmer or something. Let's see here. What's up, Doc? Check this out. The Dixie cup dispenser. Bugs Bunny. Man, why can I not figure the lighting out? I wonder if it's just the settings on my camera. Let me see if I can adjust that. I'm just using the camera on the laptop, so um, camera. I'm just trying to see if I can. Yes, I'm peering over my glasses at you. Close other apps. It looks like if you. Okay. I don't know if I can change it on the fly. Um, I source everywhere that I can. Um, Number one, here's another challenge. A lot of people that buy at auctions are also buying at yard sales, garage sales, um, estate sales, other auctions. Um, some things I buy and I sit on for a while. I buy in bulk, and we do run ads on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, saying we'll buy things. You tell us what you have, and we buy it. So we're buying items that may not be available to the general public because people are coming to us to sell. We when I'm sourcing, it's get there first. Before, when I worked a full-time job, I couldn't always I couldn't go on Thursdays or Wednesdays or Fridays to go to garage sales. So when I was sourcing for eBay, I was getting kind of what was left that I recognized was good items that other people passed by. So I was relying on that because I was hitting sales on Saturdays. But it's really beneficial to hit sales first, meaning get there early. I also go outside of my immediate area. I mean, I do have buyers that bid at auction as far as 50 miles away, but a lot of these people are sourcing for stores, so they don't have the opportunity. Whether they have booths in antique malls, whether they have um, an antique shop, whether they whatever type of store they're selling. Some of them do local sales as well. But hold on, that's my wife. But it's really about getting the items first and buying the things that other people aren't passing up. Hello. Hi. I'm working, but I'm still live. Yeah, I have it on video. My wife calls me every 20 minutes and wonders why I can't get any work done. There, it's official evidence now. It's on video. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get it figured out. Right now, 4. Okay. Cat says hello. Bye. I'm like, I'm still alive, but it's every once in a while I get a comment, and that's why I've had to change up. It was probably about a month and a half ago. I got a comment that what do people do? They go to hit the garage sales. A lot of the stuff I've seen at the garage sales and at the auctions. So that's kind of why I had to change my strategy and source, go farther away to source. Um, to We're gonna put this in bathroom. How's that sound? Would you put Dixie bathroom cups? Yes, look at that. It could go under vintage, I think, but we're gonna go bathroom. 340. But it really is. It's more difficult to determine what people are wanting to buy than where to buy it. I still haven't figured it out. I mean, there's certain items that I know I have buyers for. Like I mentioned earlier, there's some glass that we have buyers for that bid every time I list it, and that's really the Pyrex, the Corel, some Corningware, Fire King, which is Anchor Hawking, and not all in those categories do well. Um, when you're say you're doing comps on Pyrex, uh, look at patterns, colors, and at the same time looking at quality, because there are maybe do a couple of. I don't have any Pyrex here, but I've got good examples out on my catalog where one set of Pyrex dishes right now is pushing 25, 30 um, dollars at my local level for 3 dishes, and they're still going to make a killing on them. Where they were a pink, there's two. They were matching patterns. Two are white on pink, and one was pink on white. They had the lids. There was a chip in one of the lids, but it's the bowls that are really driving the price. Where we have another set that might be sitting at $5 right now, where it's 3 different. There's clear. Clear doesn't typically do overly well. Um, there's another. I think there's a pink one in there, but if you look at the pictures on it, you'll see that there's wear marks on it just from use, and somebody not take or probably overuse. And then the one in that lot that is really not. Some the other ones are real low quality. The one that would be maybe medium quality. There's a pastel Pyrex, and basically those pastel bowls have a clear inside and the bottom is completely clear. So, but there's a clear coating over instead of the typical white or milk glass interior white glass that you would see in typical Pyrex. There was clear glass and then the color coating on the outside. But the difference between those two lots right now, $5 at my level versus 25-30 that the other one's going for. So there's no, I haven't figured the formula out. I mean, I've been doing this since January, so we're running on right, 6 months. Um, and as I learn, I will pass it on to you. But we'll see. I have to make this work now that it is my full-time gig after quitting my job. I I quit my $80,000 a year job for reselling on eBay. No, I didn't. We could we could go on a rant about that. People that tell you that they quit their high-paying job to sell on eBay, uh, I just don't buy it. We pretty much bust our ass, you know. We still do the ice cream business, so that keeps us going through the summer months, and we do this, and it is a struggle for me to get done. I can usually get done. This week I've got put behind because we had because of the fourth last week and doing celebrating my wife's birthday, uh, and just taking some time to spend with the family. So now I'm playing catch up. Um, no mustard, please. No. So I'm playing catch up on getting the catalog out, but it is being an entrepreneur is a lot of hard work. If you know, I was trying to be pretty active on social media, whether it be jumping in on other people's chats, putting out my own videos on a semi-regular basis, going live. I'm just getting to the point, you know, 6 months later that I feel I can kind of slowly get back into it. Putting videos, I mean, it takes time to put a video out, and I just have to make sure that I'm focusing my time on the business and getting it going because that is my livelihood. I'm not going to make a living on YouTube and YouTube alone. I am now that I'm doing it full time. I could come closer to doing it full time. Salary on eBay, between eBay and here, I mean, we're going to make it work. But for people to say you, it's easy and it's a smooth transaction, don't buy into it. Don't believe it. I mean, we did some planning before this happened, before I quit my job, and it I continue to put in long hours and a lot of work to keep it going. I just I just hate, I just hate people getting fed a pipe dream about how easy it is to resell online and really make it. There is a lot of work to be done. I mean, when you figure your sourcing, your listing, your shipping, I mean, your three departments right there if you're doing it by yourself. So yes, I did quit my full-time job, but I just make sure that you know what you're getting into before you do that. I guess that's my advice. And I started seeing, and it really, I started seeing more. They've changed their marketing ploys on like the Amazon stuff. Now you see people telling, they do their little videos. If you watch, a lot of them use the exact same uh, bulletin board, the same graphics. When they jump out, this is my Ferrari, and they go, that's not a Ferrari. Um, trying to come across as somebody honest. They're still just trying to make money off of people to sell them on a plan. That's really what it is. I mean, if those people are making so much on Amazon, I'm telling you, they wouldn't be putting on videos on how to do it. Um, I just don't buy it. But that's me. What am I? What do I know? I'm just a business owner up here in North Idaho. Originally from Oklahoma, Missouri, um, but I'm almost 50. So I figure when you hit 50, you have a little bit room to rant and rave and bitch and moan and tell people the way it really is, or at least your idea of how it really is. Still sealed in original packaging. I try to stay away from words like NIP, new in package, all the little acronyms we use in or we may use it on eBay, um, simply for the fact, you have such a wide range of buyers that when they see nip, I mean, they're like, "What the hell is nip?" They don't see it as new in package, um, or I can't think of some of the other ones, but it's it that's really my main reason why. I may be way off. Maybe everybody does know. I know a lot of my buyers at my auction house. We have older folks, and I don't know to what extent they are up on the internet reselling lingo, but I try to avoid them in my listing. I like to spell things out. I think we get, as a society, we've gotten too lax in our writing. I mean, I finally had to start getting back into writing and signing checks. Um, and it takes me too long to write a check just because I have to focus to make sure that I I'm writing correctly. And I know that sounds bad. When your whole career is on a computer, you have to question whether you still know how to write cursive or not. Nowadays, they don't even teach it in school anymore. In 40 years, writing cursive is going to be a lost art. What do we got here? Do you guys know what you call these things right here? It's yarn. Yes, I know that. This is something I've learned. You have to be in the know, folks. Let me see if I can find which one. This is cotton terry. Looks like there's 2, 4, 6 of them. I want to see if anybody is actually watching, if they know what the package of yarn is called without Googling. Yes, Eric got it. They are called skeins. I did not even know what a skein was. At least I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, let me know. So right here, I'm going to get rid of the black. Doesn't look like I have any glassware coming up. So I'm going to get rid of my black background. The only reason it's taken me so long is because I have managed to keep everything, my water, my coffee, everything is on. Nothing fancy there, folks. Just a um, black curtain on a stick. Black doesn't photograph very good on black. I'm going to turn this light on. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. Try to keep it. Oh, oh. Oh no, that's somebody else. Who's this? Hello? Fine. Yeah. Are you? They hung up on me. It was someone from the fire, something or other. I love it that even the people that are wanting to. Your grandma used to build or knit hats. Oh, that used to knit. That's where you learned it. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm like, why is she putting skein on this yarn? And I learned that's what yarn is called. So now I sound important, or I sound more knowledgeable when I'm talking to clients out there on the floor. Oh, you're interested in knitting or crocheting? We have 8 skeins of cotton terry yarn over here, still sealed in its original packaging, in its original wrapping, ready for you to begin your next project. See, doesn't that sound like I knew what the hell I was talking about? Um, and that one fan of mine is probably going to message me and yell at me for saying the HE double hockey sticks word. Let's see. This is going under sewing or crafting, is as I'd like to call it. That's 380 for all you folks that are keeping track of my um, my lot orders. There's going to be a quiz at the end. 8 skeins of cotton terry. Oh, it's Caron. Caron. Black cotton terry. I try to use sometimes I do still try to use the voice to text, but yeah, it pretty much it makes us look like we're a bunch of idiots around here when we can't spell things, or like when I put the Longaberger pottery and it put long a burger in there. Um, yeah, that's I get embarrassed when I go back to pull people's orders when they're sitting there. I'm like, what is this? I look at it. I chuckle to myself. Um, I tell people I apologize. See, I even did look at that. It said silk in. It should be still in. And then we're packaging, and that's it. So the game changer for us here in the auction world was when we found out we could actually use our phones or tablets to actually create our auction catalogs. It before of course we were shooting for, well, even our early auctions when we were only doing 300 to 400, um, we would be hard pressed to get our auctions up by Saturday night at midnight. Sometimes we're up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure we got the catalog out. Now I shoot to have, of course we're only doing about 350 items a week, but it is our goal is to get things done on Thursday. LOL for me, a skein is the eggs I harvest from the salmon. Isn't that called roe and used for bait? I live on the Rogue Liver. Honestly, folks, I haven't been drinking tonight. The Rogue River. So our other cool numbering system that we found very useful, if you have 2 packages like that, put a ×2 on the sticker and put it on each one. That way you know you don't forget to so this is something that I think there might be money in, but it's just something that I would never consider listing on eBay. But some of this vintage stuff, there might actually be value in. Let's look that up. This is Lion Brand Jiffy, and it is Lion Brand yarn. It's just acrylic, but man, it looks nice. Now, I would love to have a sweater made out of that. That is soft. Oh, maybe just a scarf. And there's 2 different colors there, it looks like to me. Let's see what she wrote. 5 skeins of mohair look. I'm going to pull a comp on yarn. I bet you've never seen anyone do that. Oh, you don't see my what solds? Since I'm here, we can turn this into what's live what sold video. Row is the individual egg. They are all together on a skein. Very interesting. I did not know that. Um, I had some pretty decent sales in the last 2 weeks. First of all, I don't know if you guys saw um, the video I did on getting all those price label guns. I dropped the price on some of them to $20. I pretty much ended all my listings on eBay, and, except for a few things. On this one particular gun, when I started listing just a couple things, they all of a sudden started picking up. And um, let's see here, on June 13th, I sold 4 of them. June 16th, I sold 2. June 19th, I sold 4. June 24th, I sold 2 more. And on July 1st, I sold 1. So in the course of the last 3 weeks of June and the first day of July, what was that? 4, 6, 10, 12, 13 of those pricing guns at $20 a piece. So that was $260 on pricing guns that we bought a whole slew of them for uh, $6. No, it was $60 for a whole cart full of them, and we had over 100 of them. So it was about, I think it was pennies of the dollar. It was. Oh, we're talking about glass. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Um, why I'm more interested in doing glass now. I don't know if you can see that. That's that jadeite standing rooster. Make sure I'm not giving. That puppy sold $54 plus shipping. That was the end price on it. So jadeite green. Here's another one. This is another jadeite green. This is a hen and nest, and it had um, a white milk glass head. Let me see if I can get a. Here's a picture of its head. It was very interesting how the white fell over, but it's not going to rotate. But that's how it looked overall. So $33 on that. I bought a whole slew. I don't, I just sold 4 of them to someone locally for $35 for 4 of them. They were more the Indiana glass, little iridescent. One that I showed one a second ago, and I've got. This is what those look like. These come in multiple colors, $10 to $20. I would say I just ran one through auction, and that's one of my sales that I just. Oh, this was a standing rooster. Let me get that one. I'll go run and grab that. I haven't shipped it out yet. I actually hid it somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. But here is an example of these standing roosters. These standing roosters, I sold one that was just a clear colored. I'll show you what it. This one here, I actually I had it listed for 30, and because the shipping's a little bit more on these, I did actually make the guy an offer, and I sold him for 19.99. But these here anyway, you can pick these up. fairly inexpensive at garage sales because a lot of people don't see value in it. You find a lot more people, they get passed down a ton of stuff from the grandmothers and stuff, and they don't know what to do with it. So you'll find them in garage sales. And the biggest recommendation is bundle. Put them all in pile and bundle. So where was I? I got sidetracked. What else? I've got this pig decanter back there. The comps on are pulling like I don't do a ton of decanters. I've sold a couple locally to somebody that was interested in the ones I've had sitting in the shop for $20 to $30. But that one back there is actually priced. It comps out at least. It's going to be probably a long tail. I'm doing my show and tell when I should be working. Hopefully my wife's not watching the video. It's the Iowa Hog by Daviess County Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, followed by Daviess County Distilling Company, Owensboro, Kentucky. And it's got, you can't read that, but it's got it embossed down the bottom. Daviess County Liquor Bottle, 1978. But it's just a little pig. It comps out around $50, $54. Now, if you guys know beer, I drink a lot of beer. That's why I have this awesome physique. But this is a 10 litho, and this is Limp St. Louis. It was actually, I believe this is pre-Prohibition era. It's not in the greatest condition, but at least you can make out the image. There's a couple spots over here where it feels a little rough, where maybe there might be some rust pushing through the paint, but lots of air. It does not look like a reproduction. If it was, they did a really great job on it. But I have this. This is the one that I have right now on auction on eBay, starting at $100 with a buy it now of $500. As I throw it over there, we'll see how it does. I've got quite a few watchers on it right now. Let's see. I guess I should active. Oh, and I sold a cane. I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah, I've got it. It still has how long? 6 days left. I guess I only have one watcher on it. I had more. I thought I had more on that. And then the other thing I found this. I think I paid $3. I bought 3 canes together at a garage sale. I am a big IPA drinker. I don't think I would drink Pyramid just because I like it just it's just in my head because I feel like I love Elysian. Space Dust is a good one for me. But yeah, I'm an IPA drinker. I'm trying to cut back just so I can get my weight back down under control. But anyway, I bought these canes, 3 for $10, and one of them was one that was Hallmark WS. It had this. Well, maybe I do have that right here because I haven't shipped it out as well. It's got this brass handle on it. It's got a brass tip, but it's that thing's a solid thumper. Lots of great looking wood vein in it. This thing went for $35 plus shipping. Anyway, let me get back to listing my yarn. I got a little sidetracked. Like I said, I have to. It's right now. I am 126 in for the catalog this week, and I should be at by the end of the night. I should be at 210. So I don't know if I want to hit it or not. If I keep talking and chatting, I never hit it. So we get this going again. Um, 5 skeins of salmon egg. No, Lion Brand Jiffy mohair look. That's the key word there. Mohair look. Oh, and a short time to get there. We got the Bandit song going. Well, Jerry Reed. I almost think that's 3 different colors. Tell me the cover. Oh, 107 is denim. I'm colorblind to an extent, so I always like it when they write. There's 1 camel, 2 camel. This one looked a little bit 3 camel. Oh, they're all camel. 4, number 124, camel. Oh, so canes are awesome. I recently sold a vintage exotic stacked wood cane built on a steel rod for 150. Dang. See, they're new to me, so I've got 2 of them running on my auction now. I know I come across quite a few handmade walking sticks. Those seem to do pretty good locally. And when I say pretty good at a local auction, a cane, if it hits $20, I mean, I'm doing pretty good, especially as we build our bidder base. That's probably one struggle that we have is increasing our bidder base. Right now, we have about an average of 105 um, bidders each week, which is steadily growing. Um, we've been having to get a little bit more, I wouldn't say selective, but I have turned down more things to put in on consignment um, just because I can't let it. I can't be consumed with listing everything if I don't think it's going to hit a minimum bid. It's a waste of time, really, for me to list it. Ah, just a good old boys. The only way they know how. And that's just then la la la. Oh, it's from Dukes of Hazards. I'll put that back in the bag. Where'd I kick the bag, folks? Dang. See, and one of the struggles of being owner of the auction house, I cannot allow myself to cherry pick items. I mean, I have to build this business up. And in order to do so, I have to let people have deals. And you know what? With the amount of stuff that I have that I go through, that I purchase, there is no way I could ever list all that on eBay. I mean, that's the key. If you guys have the space, um, try to get in on bulk places. I know I saw on one of Lonnie's message boards, how do you get a guy advertise? Put the word out there that you buy. I mean, I've been, I've, I worked with people that flipped houses and pull in a lot of inventory that way, just stuff that was left behind, quality stuff, because sometimes people that flip houses, it it's not always under a positive circumstance for this person losing the house when they have to leave their stuff alone. And it's more with what the law has done, not what the flipper has done. But anyway, I've gotten a lot of items that way. I have people that come in. I had a guy that's supposed to come in today. Hopefully he'll be in. He wasn't sure if he's going to be feeling well today. but he's bringing me in some candy, some nickel candy dispensers. Um, I list as estate cane, also estate pipe. Some folks are looking for estate items. I'll have to remember that on some of my estate finds. The problem with buying in bulk that we had to learn fast was you can't sell everything. Meaning there's a lot of quality items that you just have to let go. You have to pick and choose what you're going to end up selling, what items you can maximize your profit on, what items are going to sell faster, where, what items do you have buyers for if you work locally, um, and then just donating the rest, learning to let go of all that stuff. Um, and it can be hard to wrap your head around when you might have just dropped 1,500 or 500 or two or whatever the value is on the lot that you just bought. It's hard wrapping your head around, trying to figure out what you spent on um, each item and then thinking that it's a loss on those items. No, you figure out what items are the most profitable and you're going to make your money back on quickly. Get rid of all the stuff. Don't let it sit around in your garage, sit around in your shop. Just get rid of it. So this, I love her because she puts what these things are. And I'm going to say it's probably Anchor Hocking, but I could be completely wrong. This mixing bowl, no handmade bread knife. Oh, this is just a lot. So this one, and I put my curtain away. It has more to it. This is just a cut glass lot, which there's not a huge market for cut glass. Now, if you're taking things to auction, you may not make you may not make your money on a piece of cut glass such as this. But you have to get rid of all of your cut glass. I'll have to see if the spoon is for this. It's a little sugar dish. They're beautiful. Cut glass is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I always keep the bubble wrap. Again, beautiful dish. Beautiful decanter, cork and all. First of all, I didn't realize I was going to be doing crystal again, so I just want to double check to make sure I do not have the spoon to that. Okay, we're going to set back up our It's the quick change. I should be on America's Got Talent because check this out. I instantly have a black background, believe it or not. Let me hear the oohs and the ahs. Let's straighten that out. I tell you, if you guys haven't looked into using the vinyl backgrounds for white, they work pretty good. I've used the same piece, cost me I think $24 on Amazon. Use the same piece. I've actually cut it and rolled it down a couple of times, once, but most of the time I just use some Clorox wipes or the branded wipe of your choice and just wipe it down to get any dust. And a lot of even a lot of the dust and stuff will be hidden in the photo just by making the picture just a little bit brighter, not enough to wash it out, but just a little bit brighter. So yes, each of these cut glass pieces are beautiful, but they're just not, at least at auction, they're not going to do well on the local market, at least here in North Idaho. So, I'll have to. It's basically that's basically what this is. I mean, it really is the same texture, but I never considered using that. Thanks for that tip. Um, these came in, I think, as a 6 foot wide. That was one thing. So as long as you get a wide enough um, blind, that is a great idea. I mean, you could just get the little mounting brackets for it, put it on the wall. Shoot, if he could get that in different colors, he could just change colors just like that. So what you're doing is just lot the stuff up. I mean, if you don't have buyers for cut glass, lot it all up in a huge glass, a huge lot. Maybe you'll find a seller on eBay that specializes in cut glass and crystal, and um, they'll buy the whole lot. They'll get a great deal. They'll get it off your hand. It won't be filling up your inventory space, especially places like me where space is a commodity. Okay, vintage glass 250, and this is um, beautiful, beautiful cut glass, beautiful cut glass lot. And I always go back and capitalize each, what do they call that, formal case, where you capitalize the first letter in each word of the description. And we'll do this. Decanter 9x6. 9. See, this is Decanter 9x6. Decanter 9x6. I mean, honestly, I know I have a little bit of an accent, especially when start getting tired, or if I'm drinking, which I'm not drinking tonight. But it honestly did decanter, capital DI, space KANTOR. I mean, what? I do believe my phone is an idiot. Um, it's like a pineapple design. I tried to study this stuff once, and I do not like cut glass. Large lidded candy dish, 5.5x6. I use X instead of times. That way it puts it in there right. Small sugar bowl with lid, 4.5x 3.25x 3.25. And of course, small sugar bowl with lid, 4.5 by 3.25, eggs, 3, the word point, T5. I mean, seriously, my phone is an idiot. I don't understand what the deal is, why it's so terrible at. Bowl is approximately 6x4. Again, 6 eggs for what? I spend more time correcting when I try to use voice to text, correcting the misspellings and miscommunication between my phone and myself. You're like, man, it takes him forever to list. No, I'm enjoying talking to y'all more. There was a glitch in the matrix. My screen turned green. Okay. And this is 1127. We don't just run glass. I know this particular consignor had quite a bit of glass and yarn. This stuff, her stuff usually does typically sell. I put a actual. I never tested it, but I had a styrofoam cutter that I picked up in a huge lot that I bought. Um, that went up this auction. I do furniture. I do um, antlers are a big seller here in this area. If you can pick them up fairly cheap, I'm talking deer, elk, um, moose. I don't typically find. I actually sold a moose head. That went pretty good. It was actually very ornately done. It was bleached and they bedazzled it, for lack of a better term. I think it went for about $350. Um, oh, have a good night, Sam. I have 8 pair of Red Wing boots to list tonight. Man, I love the Red Wings, super fast sellers. I keep a lookout for them, but I just don't see them here in this region. Okay, I'm going to go drop this. I'm not going to go drop it. I'm gonna go gingerly set it over there on the cart. So I'll be back in about 2 shakes and a holler. And shake, shake, holla. That's my 2 shakes and a holler. Next, we are going to do what she got these written in tens. Tens sell. I mean, I'm not a huge. I don't buy a lot of tins, but our local folks go nuts on them. I don't know if they use them for displays. When I say tins, here's some Hershey's. Here's a Christmas one. This is a Hershey's Kiss. That's a reproduction. So it's after, 1980 on that one, 1995. So they're not super old. And I wonder if she's putting all of these tins together. A lot of things we do, we lot up ourselves and make that decision. Oh, hey Swap, how you doing, Glenn? One of these days I'll figure out how to do hang or whatever they do to where you can have more than one people jump in, like a hangout. But that way, at least maybe I can get some folks jump in that can be a little bit more exciting than what I've been tonight. I'm just really under the gun. I'm trying to get some stuff listed for the auction. Um, oh, have a good night, Glenn. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, keeping 2 Hershey cookbooks. Oh, the Hershey cookbooks with tins. Huh. Oh, I set the cookbook. So yes, this is a good lot. She sweetened it up. She threw in 2 Hershey's cookbooks. So a Hershey's lover would love. Let me make sure these recipe boxes aren't supposed to go together. No, 3x5 pile boxes. Those are separate. So basically, I just arranged. We have the Hershey's Pure Milk Chocolate tin here. This is a 1992. We already looked at the Santa Claus one, which is 95. This one was 1980. The Hershey's Kiss, a Kiss for You tin, kind of a retro vintage look there, antique look, and a product tin. And this is pre pre-barcode. So what does that make it? You guys remember the year that they started barcodes? I would have to look it up because I can't. It's post 70. I want to say 74. I've tried going to end at end of the month. Zoom is a new. Yeah, I have I heard about that the whole Hangout thing. Is that what everyone's going to? Is something called Zoom? And is it run by YouTube or is it another platform altogether? I thought that YouTube was supposed to be coming up with their own platform. So where these tins might have been just a difficult sale at local auction, you bundle things up and people think they're having a great, well, they are getting a great deal. You know, there's going to be a Hershey's lover that's going to be all over this. So this one I'm going to put, see, I could do this kitchen or collectibles because the cookbooks. I'm going to highlight those. I want to put them in my kitchen sort order. So I'll be out with the next kitchen stuff. And just for Hershey's tins and 2 Hershey's cookbooks. I have been so out of touch with YouTube just because of how busy I've been. I'm still trying to find that balance um, and being able to put this in. Some of those guys, I just don't know how they do it. I'm just going to throw in here tins range from I want to say 70s through 90s. Um, and 2 Hershey's cookbooks. Man, wouldn't you guys love to have that lot? I mean, just looking at it makes me hungry for milk chocolate kisses that have been frozen in the freezer. I love the little bitty chocolate morsels, and I throw them in the freezer. And so yeah, definitely no knowledge bombs dropped tonight. Just trying to step back into doing YouTube again. Maybe get into it a little bit more. Um, I do need to start doing more on the ice cream stuff as well. We did have an ice cream emergency today. We had a freezer go out. That's the worst thing to do when you have ice cream trucks is for your ice cream free one of your freezers to crap out on you in 80, upper 80s, 90-degree weather. It doesn't last long. So we end up throwing an entire freezer full of ice cream away. But it typically happens at least once a year, so you kind of figure it in. Well, I sure didn't get very much listed tonight yet. I'll have to put all that in a box. That's lot 118. Maybe I'll be able to drop a little bit, something surprising next time I go live. But I'll be putting down some more just informational videos. I hate to sit here and waste too much of y'all's time not doing much of anything. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, at least on the YouTube. I do appreciate those of you that stopped in and said hello, participated in the conversation. I did enjoy it, but I am running behind, and I really need to bust out some listings just so I can meet my own personal quota. The upside is I don't have anybody riding my butt about getting stuff down. The downside is that when you run your own business, you know exactly what's needed. Um, to get done. So, and that is where I'm at in my realization. I'll probably be working late into the hours tonight to get caught back up. Like I said, I really need to have, where am I at? I'm at 130, so I'm 10 away from being where I should have been this morning. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night. We will catch you all next time. Have a great one and look forward to seeing y'all later.